locked in to The Exquizit Show.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of The Exquizit Show, brand new podcast brought to you by myself, Dr. Exquizit, and we're going to be talking about all things UK dance music. We're going to be looking at, listening to and talking about all the different genres that the UK has got to offer, from DnB through to jungle, garage through to bassline, house music through to disco, and even some psytrance and UK tech for anybody out there that likes it a little bit weird.
The Exquizit Show.
So I thought I'd start this show by telling you a little bit about the format. Each show is going to begin with a 10-minute interview with a very special guest, keeping within the theme of the show. This week, the theme is drum and bass, so we're going to have Shulgin in. A little bit more on that later. After this interview, we're going to have a guest mix from the guest, showcasing all the best flavours, the artists that they've been supporting recently, any new tracks they've got coming up, and generally just what they're vibing with right now. Following on from their mix, I'm going to do a little bit of chatting on my own, because who doesn't love my voice, and we're going to get into a mix from myself in the same genre, where I'll be showcasing plenty of different artists, plenty of different subgenres, and looking into what is powering my DJ sets at the moment, which tunes can I not seem to stay away from. So, without much further ado, I'd like to welcome Shulgin onto the very first episode of the Exquizit podcast.
The Exquizit Show.
So hello and welcome to the show, Shulgin. How's it going?
Hello mate, I'm all good, how are you doing?
I'm doing alright, thank you. Lovely to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
For anyone that doesn't recognise the name Shulgin, Shulgin has been a major player in the northeast drum and bass scene, particularly Leeds, in the past 18 months. You have launched a wonderful record label, Substance Recordings.
Oh, thanks very much.
Amazing in all of their download charts, Beatport and Juno and whatnot. And you also have a heavy hand in what goes on at Outset Artists and Outset Audio.
That's right.
How have you found the last 18 months or so? Obviously with COVID coming along, it's been pretty stressful, but before that, how have you found getting into the scene?
Yeah, well, pre-COVID, we put out our first tune in I think it was November or October of last year.
Yeah. And
in that blew up like really quickly, and yeah, I was really happy with how everything was going. Both events and releases wise, and then obviously now with COVID going on, events out of the question. Had to cancel a few really sick ones that I was excited for.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Born on Road one was literally the weekend that the first lockdown started, and then there was my birthday bash as well, which I was really excited about. But
doubly insulting when it's a birthday.
Yeah, innit? But we'll just it is what it is, and we've just basically just tried to keep smashing it with the releases. You know, it's the only thing we can still do right now with the label, and that's been going well. Like as you said, we've been doing really well in the charts and stuff recently with the paid releases. I'm really happy with how it's going.
Yeah, for sure. You've been putting tracks out relatively regularly through Substance. We had the Brook EP a couple of months ago.
Oh, that was banging. We've actually slowed down a bit now with the releases. I don't really want to put out too much stuff until vaccines and stuff get properly rolled out, because
save them till the dance floors are ready.
Yeah, we can't really test out the tunes on the dance floor, and that's the whole point for like a lot of obviously like with some more liquidy cuts and stuff that are more streaming focused. Like our first release on Outset Audio was a liquid one, and that's done really well on streaming wise. But yeah, I want to put out music that can get played in clubs. So
absolutely, it's such an important part of our scene. It feels kind of hollow without it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's just not the same. So we've got loads in the pipeline, but I'm kind of sitting on quite a bit of it. We've got stuff from Stomps. We've got a Tweakz EP, which is we've already had one from Tweakz, and this next one is insane. Honestly, it's like some of the best like stuff I've heard recently. So fresh. Like Tweakz is gonna be like this. He's a name to watch for sure.
Absolutely. Do you have a release date for that?
That's probably going to be in late January or February. Probably February. And then hopefully by then we'll be approaching, the return to normality.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's a time of great change. February, just in time for Valentine's Day, of course. Buy your lover this EP for Valentine's Day. They'll love you for a long time. Absolutely. So it's been nice to see the label move more towards releasing EPs in recent months. Obviously, an EP gives an artist much more chance to develop a sound throughout the release. You've just spoken about the Tweakz EP. Have you got any other EPs lined up, or are you looking to move back towards singles a little bit?
So no, I'm actually quite keen on the EP format. It's something I've been pushing on, just signing music from people. Obviously, we started out with the big 15 tracker, like various artists and all the free downloads and singles and kind of stuff. But as you said, with Substance, the whole kind of idea of it is it's a platform for newcomer artists to, you know, break into the scene, like
get launched.
And with an EP, you get like 3, 4, even more tracks to, you know, just showcase a few different, like either a few different flavors or a few different just for the producer to be able to proper showcase their work. I think it's better.
Absolutely.
And so we had that Bruck EP, which did really well. We had the GLM Badman EP, which also did really well in the charts. Banging EP that.
Yeah, the collab with Kumo had me absolutely going for it.
Mate, Kumo's sick. I want to sign some solo stuff from him for sure. He's on Outset actually as well.
Yeah, I noticed as I was looking through your roster the other day. You've got quite a varied roster with Outset.
No, the Outset roster is proper banging, honestly. I actually started as an agent. Have you heard of Shook?
Shook Event.
Yeah, so they also had an agency, and then Seth, who ran it, I kind of joined Outset like a few weeks or like a month or two before he did, and he kind of saw what Jordan was doing like I did. I was doing, I wanted to get in, and, you know, I do a bunch of stuff with them, like I do their graphics and their website and loads of random things. I'm not just an agent.
Yeah, well, we never get to do just one job in this industry, do we?
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, even just like artists nowadays, like just DJs have to be on top of it, like with being on like good at socials and, you know, just promo and like editing stuff. Like, it's, you know, you got to do so many things yourself now. But yeah, Seth joined on, brought a bunch of artists from the Shook agency. And so it was quite cool to see him join, because that's kind of where I started, and now we're all a big team at Outset, all like, you know, it's one big family. It's really nice, and when we get back to normality, we're going to be smashing it, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome. Big things coming soon, I hope.
Yeah, trust me.
So talking about events a little bit there, I have got a question for you about the Leeds scene. Now, you've run quite a few events in Leeds. Has there been a standout venue for you? Is there a venue that you really want to work with again as soon as we reopen?
There's a few. I don't really have a favourite. I think in Leeds we're quite lucky with our selection of venues and stuff. We've done the most events at Wire and Old Red, which are definitely two of my favourite. Wire's, you know, a bit more like a proper, like, polished clubby experience, and it's really nice to like, even if you don't like completely sell out a gig there, like you only need 150 people in there and it's still vibes, and it's not hard to sell out either. It's like 300-400 caps, so it's nice to put on events there because it's not too, you don't have to stress about tickets too much. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite venues. And then Old Red is like a bit less polished, a bit more kind of grassroots, underground, which is really sick. Obviously Wire's repping the underground stuff as well, but Old Red's like does it in, you know, it's a really cool grassroots kind of venue, which I really like. I actually want to open my own venue one day, like that's the long-term plan. But
where would that be?
Maybe in Leeds. There's a good chance it would be in Leeds, but maybe somewhere else. I haven't decided. It's not really a short-term thing, so I got time to think about it. But
yeah, plenty of time to sit and scheme. Do you have a name?
I was thinking something like the Mothership.
The Mothership. Nice.
That would be sick.
Sounds pretty German. Could be a techno club.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just something that popped into my head. I've got a few other ideas for names.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like it. I'd love to see the branding. You could go wavy with the branding.
Yeah, proper like sci-fi shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
be banging.
So, just looking through your roster again, you've got such a wide variety of names on the Outset artist roster that people can contact you to book for events, hopefully when the vaccine rolls out and we're going again pretty soon. You've got names like Disrupta, Flowdown, even vocalists like Ira, Killer P, Nectax. Pete Cannon is a huge favourite of mine. I love the style of his
He's
production.
sick, mate. Yeah, he's done it.
Slater, it's great to see you supporting some of the Manchester guys. And
sure.
of course, Stomps.
Yeah, mate. Nah, the Outset roster is really strong. Again, Seth and Jordan and myself. We're a great team, and I'm really excited for to get back to it and get all these boys and girls some gigs and stuff.
So, before we get stuck in with your big mix, tell us a little bit about what we can expect to hear from the next 20 minutes.
Well, it's got a few new ones from me, a few dub plates, a few dubs from some other people as well. Jolie, sick one from Jolie, and yeah, it's kind of a mixture of everything. It ended up the same way as most of my mixes do, which is just like a few different kind of styles of DnB all mashed into a short space of time.
Absolutely, they play so nicely together, don't they?
Yeah, nah, I do love it.
So, the big question, who is standing out for you at the moment in the drum and bass community? Who's the one to catch at the minute?
Well, right off the top of my head, I've got to say Disrupta, because he's just been killing it recently, he's had that recent V-Recordings EP where he's been trying out some different stuff from like his like more kind of minimally jump uppy kind of sound, venturing into liquid and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, he's finally getting the proper recognition he deserves because he's a sick producer. So
amazing. And V Recordings is a very big gig, very big
for
release.
sure, man. One of my favourite labels. Their output's like still so good to this day, and even their stuff on Chronic, the sister label, like there's the new Slater bits and everything. Yeah, banging.
Absolutely, loving the more breaky sound in drum and bass at the moment.
Trust me,
especially pushing towards the 160 BPM mark.
Yeah, no, I love all that stuff.
Totally. So, without much further ado, I'm looking forward to hearing your mix, so I'm going to give it a run. Thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Anytime.
You're locked in to the Exquizit Show.
Hey, let me tell you something. take you places never seen before. Now days gone by, you seek to find a way to be them more. I try to show you ways that held you up against the wall and change your mind, stay. And I know that you know.
to the Exquizit Show.
So, before we get into my mix today, which will be showcasing plenty of deep and minimal drum and bass, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Break, Symmetry Recordings. Now, I've known of Break as an artist for a long time. I've had a couple of his tunes for a good few years, but it's only recently, really, that I've realised how much I relate to his music and how much it stands out in the middle of a DJ set. He's got a really unique style. He can showcase a lot of different flavours, but he really likes to work with female vocalists or vocalists of any description and have really melodic, lovely intros and build-ups. And I just think that especially when you're mixing drum and bass, it can become quite heavy on and it can be quite consistently aggressive and loud. And as much as I love that, it's always nice to have a little breakdown in the middle, get everyone singing along if they know the words, all this sort of stuff. So for me recently, Break and Symmetry Recordings have been putting out just release after release after release that are absolutely amazing for this. Really good breakdown tunes, really great tracks to get the crowd on your side and let people take a chill pill so that they've got the energy to get into it on the next drop. If you're looking for specific examples of this, then I highly recommend checking out the Another Way album from Break on Symmetry. It's a really, really incredible album, and again, it showcases pretty much every subgenre, every different corner that drum and bass has filled out and become. But every single track on that album is absolutely incredible. There's been loads of remixes since. They cut it to wax, to vinyl, but unfortunately those records are very thin on the ground, and despite my best efforts, I can't seem to get hold of one. Maybe you'll have more luck, who knows? But this album in particular is a really good example of Break's style and his versatility throughout all of these different areas.
The Exquizit Show.
Now, another artist that I wanted to talk to you about is Halogenics. Some of you may know Halogenics is one of the members of Ivy Lab, who are a really incredible artist, especially within the halftime scenes. They make some really amazing tracks that possibly are only rivaled by some of the bigger names like Noisia, and the sound design is just insane. But Halogenics recently has been stepping more and more outside of the Ivy Lab name and doing more on his own. And I think it's been really, really great to see that output, not least of all the Dragon Force 4-track EP that came out on Critical earlier this year. Now, this has done absolute bits for me since it was released. I find myself being unable to stay away from it most of the time that I fire the decks up, and I really, really, really enjoy playing this, especially that B-side, that first B-side, Independent. You'll hear it in my mix today, and I just think that the combination of nice, soft vocal melodies and kind of liquidy flavours with the big synths that are just so warm and really drive through, and the drum beats are beautiful too. Now, if you are going to listen to the track, I highly recommend that you listen to the whole track right the way out, because it's easy to think that it's finished, but there's a really beautiful kind of 30 seconds of what sounds like acoustically recorded piano with a really natural reverb, and I think it just tapers off the track in a really, really gorgeous way. It's certainly on my to-do list to finish a set with this track and let it run all the way out, and just so that is the last thing that people hear before they go home at the end of the night, because I think that would level people off in a really nice way, prepare them for the journey home at the end of the night.
Exquizit.
So that is probably enough rambling from me. Let's get into the mix. This mix that you are about to hear showcases plenty of deep, minimal drum and bass with a couple of rollers and a couple of Neurofunk tracks thrown in. It was recorded partly digitally and partly with vinyl tracks, so a nice mixture and blend there, and you can expect to hear Alix, Perez, Fracture, Enei, Ulterior Motive, Break, Mefjus, and of course Halogenics, alongside many, many more. Let me know what you think, if you enjoyed the mix, any tracks that you thought were standout. Same for Shulgin Set, love to hear what you thought of that. Leave a comment down below and enjoy.
You're locked in to The Exquizit Show.
Oh, need a revolution. Don't we be patient? Need a revolution. Don't we be patient? Need a revolution. Don't we be patient?
kill him with a smile.
God bless, proud of me body. No need no gym now, follow everybody. Me body firm, no, it no flabby flabby. Shape like me mother and me favor me daddy. The natural body when no need service. Any boy ya come, me must deserve this. Set him reservation, reserve this. Serve me pan a plate, I get dessert this.
Proud of your shape, proud of your size, proud of your looks and you're proud of your style. Proud of your body, your bumper and thighs. You're proud of your complexion, so kill him with a smile. Proud of your shape, proud of your size, proud of your looks and you're proud of your style. Proud of your body, your bumper and thighs.
Know there's some bomb back like I don't realize it.
Night's getting darker. Yo, day's getting dark. Night's getting darker.
The Exquizit Show.